be on deck. Once again, I want to welcome everybody out to the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Sure glad to have each and every one of you that are tuning in with us tonight. First and foremost, we want to tell everybody we appreciate your support. Last week, we kind of had a little bit of a hiccup. We got a little break down there. We had planned on taking a back-to-school break, summertime break, and we didn't put anything up. But the good news is a lot of you guys and gals ask about it, which lets us know that you tune into the show. We sure do appreciate all of your comments and the fact to know that you guys like what we're doing, man. It means the world to us, and we appreciate that. And the Lord willing, as far as we know, everything is good to go between now and the end of the year and probably beyond, with the exception of maybe some holiday breaks. But we are glad to have each and every one of you back with us again for the Deep Dixie Racing Report, as always, coming to you live from the Rescue Smokehouse Grill right here on exit 75 on Interstate 75. I've already had supper tonight. Dale and I had dinner together, and we've got people here that are eating right now. One of the best restaurants you'll ever find. Good food, award-winning cooks here, and these folks will take real good care of you. They're going to be open until 10 o'clock tonight, and anything on that menu that you find, I promise you, you're going to love it. You're not going to be disappointed. A great atmosphere. The food is very, very good. They give you plenty of it, and it's very affordable. So head on out to exit 75, not a lot of twists and turns, wherever you're at on Interstate 75, north or south. Once you take that exit, very, very short distance to the restaurant, literally right off of the exit there. So come on out and see Raymond and Amy Poor and their staff here at the Rescue Smokehouse Grill. And as always, I'm your host, Pastor Todd, sharing track announcer at Cochran Motor Speedway, joined by my good buddy, Mr. Brian Hester, who has been burning the road up as always. And of course, our producer behind the camera, getting everything done technical-wise, Dale Big Dog Hall back there getting it done, and we couldn't do it without him, and we really do appreciate everybody tuning in. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've been thinking about how we could take our show and keep it fresh. We want to give everybody an opportunity, and I'm not sure where the idea came from, but when I heard about it, I loved it. And I'm guessing now that Dale probably made a suggestion. And what we're going to do tonight, and it looks like if not all of next week, at least a good part of it, we are going to shift a little bit. And we're going to have a lot of female participation on the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Let me give you a quick rundown of who we are efforting tonight. We do feel like that we will be able to nail down all these guests. We're looking for Mrs. Maddie Crane. Many of you may know her as Maddie, and just recently she made the show up at Eldora when the Camping World Truck Series went up there, and they raced on the dirt in the Mud Summer Classic. Big deal to even make that show, and Maddie was able to do that. Had a little bit of tough luck after the fact, and we'll talk to her more about that and get some more details about that. A wonderful family, some people that I've known for a long time, have been friends with them, have been heavily connected with their family. They're here with us tonight at the restaurant. Glenn and Harrington are with us, and of course their son Will Harrington, who has become a superstar late model driver. They're here with us, and we're going to get some thoughts from Will's mother. Look at what it's like to have not only a husband and son that races, and so Pam is here with us, and we're going to be talking to her a little bit later on. And then coming up a little bit later on, we've got a young lady that's had some success, and I believe the division she runs in is the Road Warrior. Some wins at East Alabama and one at Needmore. Miss Morgan Williams is joining us, and guys, it's going to be a great interview. There was something that happened to this young woman not long ago, ended up changing her life, and we're going to tell you all about that, and I'm sure she'll fill us in on all the details. And then one of our at Cochran Motor Speedway, Will Forom, who runs in the newly introduced Junior Enduro Series. We were hoping that and family were going to be able to come. That's not going to be the case tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to get them soon. But we are looking for Mr. Morgan Forom to come and join us. And we may even pick up a few more guests. And guys, it's going to be a great show. Appreciate you tuning in. Of course, we do want to say thank you to our sponsors, 5-Star Honda Parkway in Warner Robins, Mr. Mike Hurd, and the award-winning service department down there. They'll take real good care of you. I know these people personally, vehicle to them, and guys, I'm going to tell you what, they're good people. They're going to take care of you. They're honest, and exactly what's going on. I told you just a few weeks ago, just before vacation, I really needed brakes around my car, and went in thinking that I was going to need a full-blown brake job, possibly, and our rear brakes. And Mike and the staff, they took the hubs off, got in there and checked brakes were good, and they could have very easily took me, but they didn't do that, and they're not going to do it to you. These guys, 69 dealerships nationwide, were #1 in the country for service, and Mike has been a friend to the racing community. He and the folks at 5-Star, that entire 5-Star family of dealerships, we sure do appreciate them. Of course, Mr. Bill at Heartland EMS. Brian, they've been in business for 20 years, 2015, celebrating their 20-year anniversary. Real good care of us at Cochran Motor Speedway every time we race. And not only that, but they take good care of the entire community down there in Middle. I'm excited to announce this. I'm going to have much more about this coming up real soon. But we have partnered up with another business that I love. I love going to their stores. I love the way they and they're Christian owned and operated. And many of you down here in South Georgia will know about them. Those of you that you can't miss that beautiful building that they have. I'm talking about the good folks at Carroll Sausage and Country Store. These guys have been in business since Mr. Thomas and Carroll started this business. They had a secret sausage recipe. They ran the business successfully until 2001. And Mr. Hugh Hardy Jr., along with that secret recipe, and they have moved forward in a big way with Carroll Sausage. We appreciate him coming on and being a part of it. This is kind of one of those things we're going to work together between us. I feel absolutely certain that this partnership is going to be a good one and a success. And we really do feel on board with us for a long time. These guys are located on exit 82, about 7 miles north right now. They're open 7 a.m., 7 p.m., Monday through Saturday. And I want to say a big thank you to my buddy Johnny Walker, who is the marketing manager, and the store manager, Mr. Jason Black. They're wonderful to come out, so I wanted to get that out of the way real quick. And Brian, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's start this thing off like we always begin, with our prayer and our national anthem. And as we move into our prayer, I do want the fact that we lost one of the greatest racers in the history of racing, the gentle giant, Mr. Buddy Bakeway. And just a few weeks back, the announcement was made, the news broke that he had lung cancer. And we were just talking before, it seemed like there was only just a tiny bit of time from the time we knew he was sick till he passed away. And sadly, Baker, just a few days ago, all kinds of tributes on the internet, and just a great guy, not a great guy.
Well, the old guard is.
Yeah, I know.
When we lost him and several more, I guess he stretched his career on into the 90s, but it was late 50s, early 60s when he started. You know, about the same time that Richard Petty did, because he was son of Buddy Baker, and also 20 career wins, Daytona 500, he won at Charlotte, bunch of big Charlotte races, Talladega, and also a bunch of good drivers. I think most everybody would kind of remember some driving, but more RC color cars.
Right, Speedway ace, and this guy was tough to beat. I tuned in one of those documentaries, and he raced up until 1992.
Right.
Was the first driver to go 200 miles an hour in 1970. That was a big deal.
I guess it'll probably always go down, especially with all the wrecks that have NASCAR now. But quicker average in 1980 at like 174, 175 mile an hour average. I mean, that's pretty much hammer down all day long.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our thoughts and our prayers are with the Buddy Baker family, wherever you're at, Roman, and let's go to the Lord in prayer. I know there are some of you that are sick out there. You've got needs and things like that. We do believe in faith, family, and country racing report. We don't apologize for that. We believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. We believe in our country, our military. We want to make that clear. And when you guys either tell me or Brian or Dale or Carol Leo or whoever the case may be, when you tell us something that you need prayer about, we do it. We don't just say we do it, we do it. And so wherever you're at right now, let's take a moment, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you for another chance to come out and do what we enjoy. Lord, you've opened up a wonderful door that on Thursday nights we can get with friends here in the restaurant and many other people that we reach through the power. And Lord, I just ask that you be with us all tonight. Thank you, Lord, for keeping us at the time. Lord, we pray for Mr. Baker's family. I know that there are a lot of people that are grieving the loss of this. Was such a good person to everyone. And we pray for his family, those that are sick among us in our race, and those that are struggling. You know who they are. You know what they need. And we pray for them. We ask that you keep our servicemen and women safe all over this dangerous world, as well as our first responders, Lord. We pray for all of them. And Lord, we just ask that they would be able to return to their family and friends soon and safely. Thank you for the chance to do this show tonight. And we pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. At this time, let's honor America with our national anthem. And God bless America. Once again, we want to do the Deep Dixie Racing Report, brought to you by 5-Star Hyundai and Warner Robins, Parks down in Cochran, Georgia, and our latest sponsor, Carol Sausage and Company on Exit 82. Guys, we've got a great show lined up. Of course, I'm your host, Pastor Todd, sharing track at the Cochran Motor Speedway, joined by Brian Hester, our producer, Mr. Dale Hall. Brian, get hold of our first guest, Maddie Crane, who will be joining us hopefully here in something like that. Even though we didn't have the show last week, I know there was a lot that went on. We got a lot coming up. Break it down for us, Brian.
Just going back about a week, because I think I've been lost touch with that a couple weeks ago. But I can't remiss. We've got to go back, and I know sometimes people beat me up a little bit, but what?
Oh yeah,
that race. And I racing this year, and you always hear us wobbling in the bickering between the racetracks, but I'm just gonna lay it down like it is. That's one of the best races I've seen this year, and they put on a whale.
Or in recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn and Will and Pam have seen way more racing than Cochran than I have, but to see 2 or 3 cars just scoot up and jump on the outside, just start trucking it up through there, and that's the first time I've seen that in a while. I believe there was a couple races I've seen actually Will do some. I think it's a Southern Thunder race maybe a couple years ago, but I've seen one race one night where the kid down the road here, I can't think his name, drives 15 car. I've seen him do that one night, but it's very rare. Track had some character to it. A lot of folks fussed about it, but it's dirt. It's not perfect, but if you had a choice, you go below it, you go above it. Some went through it, and still was fast. So good race. Ronnie Johnson comes from about 11th, 12th, finished second. Matt Henderson led for a good bit, winds up third, and Ryan King picks up his first. He's been a great race, and it kicked the door down. He turns around, goes back to Fenton, does it again.
Momentum.
So, momentum. You know, he had talked so much about the week before. They had some bad luck in Talladega or something, and they was Ronnie told me about it. Said they was ready to quit. They were just gonna go home and go race locally, and that was it. They was ready, and I think they put their stuff back together, and there you go, show up.
And he by no means backed into that.
No.
Guys, if you're just tuning in, Brian is recapping, and we're going back a few weeks. The race we're talking about right now is the Neesmith late models,
Yep.
and Will was telling me, and I actually had the privilege of meeting the voice of the Neesmith series, Mr. Roby Helm, and Roby told Will, and he told me pretty much the same thing. He said, this is some of the best racing that I have seen maybe in the last 10 years. It was just that good.
Yep.
They're a class group of people, man.
Yeah, they
They're a
are.
good show.
They are, and it's they kind of had a little bit of a lull for a few years, and it fell off, but they're picking their car count back up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Terry Smith told me. He said even with the 6525, which is not called Neesmith, it's Chevrolet Performance Super Late Model Series, but it's still in the same group. It's affordable. You can get in there and run. You know, they basically run the same tire, but it's a crate tire. You have to run crate 21, which is pretty much like a 1350. But other than that, it's pretty much the same old crate car everybody else runs around the house. And
Very fast.
very
Very fast.
Yeah,
and I think you can get one of those for what, like $5,700, something like
something
that?
like that. Yeah.
I think that's right.
They have a good series. I mean, it's, you know, if you want to go run, you can't afford to run with the big boys. How many people can anymore? But there's plenty of competition. I mean, Matt's no slouch. I mean, we had, you know, Will and a couple other local guys that ran real good, qualified real good. The top 6 or 7 was within a 10 and a half, something like that. It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight. I mean, just a little bit of a bobble or something. I mean, you lose 100 here, 1,000 there, and it puts you 5 spots back.
And one thing that I think really made a lot of difference for this race that caused everyone to set up and take note. Normally I'm in the tower trying to think about what's coming next, but I had the opportunity to come down and actually get down there with my friends in the stands, smell the fuel, get the dust in my face, all of that. And there was lap after lap of side-by-side racing.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody giving an inch. It was incredible, guys. If you get a chance anytime, if you even got to drive a little bit to go see the Neesmith guys, you won't be disappointed. They put on a great show, and hopefully, I've heard talk. I'm certainly not going to say this is going to happen, but I have heard some very positive feedback. Looks like we may try to get these guys back again.
Yeah, it's you know, Mr. Encyclopedia over there might already done heard. I don't know, but yeah, I heard the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, they are very interested in they possibly do want another show or maybe another doubleheader.
Cool. Good times at Cochran, man. As a matter of fact, we'll be back in action again this weekend. If you're in the middle of Georgia, come check us out. Cochran Motor Speedway. What else is happening?
All right, let's get on into the meat and potatoes. Got to give right off the bat, the other 2 bosses are on with Dale Hall and Mr. Leo Johnson and his wife Carolyn. I kind of seen this coming from way off. Seen the gate open up after on the heels of what all happened at East Alabama. Leo and Carolyn's going to have a 5,000 to win all-star stock car race, 50 laps. It'll be a Friday night qualifying heat race. 50 lap will be on Saturday night. So this is going to be another showcase event, which really, they got a $1,500 win race this weekend. It's one of their regular points races at Golden Isles. And then they'll have that race, and that's really 3 weeks away from their $10,000 race. Right. And so it adds a lot of pressure. You know, I've actually kind of messing with Michael a little bit this week. He's leading the points, Michael Davis, and he said, man, boy, did they really pour it on. But, you know, that's where you got to go.
That is a huge step. When
Right.
you can get in that program of that East Alabama deal, state or national, man,
Yeah.
huge.
And
huge.
I want to go ahead and clarify it. If you look at the flyer, it does not affect the existing bomber class. This is just an add-on. It doesn't affect the regular bomber class, which is like a pure stock class. So I don't know if if you can run both or not. I don't know how the rules work.
So this will be just an add-on.
It's add-on.
Okay.
It's almost like the CT 525 races they've added on.
Okay.
So it'll be the same thing. The flyer explains it all. So like I say, it'll be just like a normal show. You just have a bigger audience to do it.
Absolutely. Congrats to Carolyn and Leo, man. They've worked hard and they've done some good things
Yep.
in a short period of time.
Leading down the line a little bit, just back up this past weekend. Fuel Series race over Modoc. Brandon Overton picks up his first win in a pretty good while. He seems to be the king of getting in any type of car, and he looks like he's fast in it. CT 525 Fuel Series, got in a CBR car that belongs to Daniel Bagley, and Little Overton wins in the race in good fashion. Back up to the North-South 100. It seems like these two wind up being stuck to each other, but it seems like one winds up in front of the other one. Davenport wins the North-South 100. That's one of the biggest races of the year, leading up to the World 100, which is in a few weeks, right after Labor Day. So everybody's kind of pointing at that race, World 100, to see if them two wind up being right together. Bloodquist was second, and Marler was third. And Marler's still one of the original favorites in that area.
Brian, I know that you may have not have looked close enough, but Davenport has got to be getting close to what, 300 grand this year in winnings alone?
300. You said 358,000.
$358,000.
Let's just run it up to 360.
Wow. How about that, man? Folks, if you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Brian Hester breaking down some big races that happened this past weekend.
Yeah,
and
that was, I think, kind of like another. I didn't see the video, but they said that Bloomquist was actually speechless in his interview afterwards. He just kind of sat there and went, like that right there. They really found something. Yeah, I'd say they found something.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rumleys he drives for, they're the Longhorn chassis people. They found something. It clicks. Davenport got him up at I-80 here a while back, running down, and Todd and Page. I think that's really the only thing that Bloomquist kind of hangs out right now. He really got him as far as that duel between them. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to say I'm going to probably try to go to War 100 to see that. There might wind up being some electricity in there because there's already some friction there.
Yeah.
And Bloomquist is good at that. He revels in that stuff. He eats it up. But got to mention, he'll be here before we know it, Labor Day weekend, the rain out makeup race for the 10,000 win.
Mm-hmm.
Southern Thunder late model rules.
Mm-hmm.
362 cars, 6525. So we got the let's see, you are, isn't that right? Oh, pole sitter sitting here with us. Little wheel
10 grand to win, and that's the makeup from July the 4th. For those of you that may not have known, and big shout out and props to Chris Martin for keeping that first the way it was.
Yeah, he's sticking his neck on out there. Maybe it'll work out. And it'll come through, and we'll, it's hard to judge this stuff. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't. And like I said, my hat's off to for saying, hey, I'm still going no matter what.
Yeah. And just to clarify, that's going to be two separate shows.
Yeah.
Saturday night is going to be a show unto itself, and that's going to be the conclusion of the race that we tried to get in on July the 4th and got rained out.
Right.
Then on Sunday, which we don't hardly ever race on Sunday, on a holiday weekend, we'll do it. It's going to start from scratch. Everything starts over. So those of you that are coming out, you'll have a shot at a pretty good payday if you can put something together for back-to-back days.
If I just had a guy, if I was a guy, and the car count is not real big for that race. I can't remember what the total number was, but all in the back, run the race, get some good. I mean, how many laps is that race? 50 laps. Yeah, 50 laps of good practice. Heck, you go in on a caution, come back out, change something, and then get set up for Sunday night and get another whack at some more money.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, that's what I'd be looking at.
Okay. Well, Brian, we appreciate it, man. And once again, thank you for tuning in to the Deep Dixie Racing Report. We're going with a little different setup tonight, a little different format, and I like it. We want to keep our show fresh. We're going to be having a lot of participation from our female racing family members. We're going to be talking to a couple drivers. We'll be talking to some mothers, some wives of racers, and getting their perspective on what it's like to be a part of it. And Dale, I tell you what, if it's okay with you, let's see if we can get a hold of Miss Maddie Crane. Maddie made some big news and made some big noise by qualifying for that truck race up at Eldora Speedway this summer. And we're going to get an opportunity to talk to her about that a little bit, hopefully. And really cool to be able to talk to someone like that. Maddie, Pastor Todd Sharon, Deep Dixie Racing Report. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're so glad to have you on our show tonight. And just hold on for a second, Maddie. For those of you that are just tuning in to the Deep Dixie Racing Report, you stopped by at a great time. We are just beginning our conversation with Maddie Crane. And I'm being told, Maddie, that your nickname is Mad Maddie. Give me a little bit of background on how you picked up that name, sis.
Well, I've been racing since I was 10 years old. So actually my first ever crew chief came up with it. And I really just think it was because it's so catchy. So what's funny about it is I'm from Meansville, Georgia. So it's Mad Maddie from Meansville.
I love it. I love it. Maddie, do you mind if I steal your nickname and give it to our producer, Dale Hall, and we'll call him Mad Dale Hall? How does that sound to you?
Sure.
Folks, we are joined on the line right now by Miss Maddie Crane. Maddie, you just said that you started racing when you were 10 years old. On that note, I want you to just give us a snapshot of how old you are now, of where you began, how your career has kind of unfolded to this point.
Well, I'm 17, so I've been racing for 7 years. And yeah, so when I was 10, my grandfather got me started out racing Bandoliers at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And the reason just like what we did when I was around 8 years old, so my mom, she just, let me do that. So finally he convinced me when I was 10 to let me do a rapid drive. So we did that, and I just fell in love with it. So I ran Bandoliers for 3 years, I think, and then we jumped into a legend car with 52. So we kind of traveled around the country racing those, and so we after decided to go dirt racing, and I've been running dirt late models for the past 2 seasons. So we're just recently sort of jumping out of that and into the asphalt late models.
Gotcha. Maddie, I know that one of the things that that really made headlines just this past summer is when the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, each year that they have done this, I think, the third year now, they go to Eldora, that historic track up there in Ohio, and you actually went up there and you actually made that show before you had some problems, and it kind of put a end to your weekend. But tell us a little bit about how you got there, your equipment. What did it feel like to be up there with all those other racers, and just overall, what was the experience like?
Yeah, it was a very amazing opportunity, so I was really disappointed with how it ended up. But yeah, we went out there with one of our good buddies, Tracy Wallace. He obviously owns a truck, so him and my grandfather were talking and decided to throw me in it. We were on our way to Eldora, and kind of just went pretty well. I think we ended up like 20th fastest overall of practice, and so before qualifying, we went through tag and ended up having to change a bunch of stuff on the truck, and the track had changed so much since practice, and I think the combination with what we changed on the truck and how much the track changed, it didn't play into our hands, and we went to turn one, and the truck just didn't respond. like I needed to. So it was very, you know, it messed up a lot of stuff on the truck, but overall it was a great experience. And, you know, I'm very, very blessed and grateful that opportunity to go and do that.
Absolutely. If you're just tuning in to the Deep Dixie Racing Report, joined on the phone by Miss Maddie Crane. She's a dirt late model driver and made a great attempt up at Eldor with the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series there for what they call the Mud Summer Classic. Maddie, at 17 years old, if I do have, my youngest son is 17, does that make you a senior in high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does it feel like, first of all, right now diversity is probably more prevalent than it ever has been. Has happened just over maybe the years, but being a female driver and not only that, but being a very young lady, how has that affected your racing career? Has it hurt you? Has it opened up doors? Tell us about that.
You know, I mean, I definitely think being a female in the sport with a lot of males definitely does help, because there are a lot of people out there that want to see diversity and see females and, you know, a bunch of minorities and, you know, in the sport. So, you know, I think it has helped a lot in ways it hasn't. So it's just kind of tit for tat.
Got it. Now, what I will say, the big time, when you get on a national stage like that, just around that atmosphere and the whole feeling, the whole vibe, I know it's not going to be enough to satisfy you. What plans do you and put you out with that race? Do y'all have any plans in the near future to try it again, or maybe in the Infinity, or anything like that?
Well, you know, I don't know. I'd like to say so, but you know, the reason we went and did that was because it was a dirt race, and you know, we haven't run a lot of dirt recently, so great opportunity. But right now, hopefully we're gonna run a few asphalt late model races. We really asphalt experience. So I don't know. You know, ultimately our goal is, you know, hopefully to one day, you know, be running. But we're just kind of taking it race by race and seeing where it takes us.
Gotcha. We're joined on the line right now by Miss. A lot of people know her as Maddie from Meansville, Georgia. Maddie, Meansville, Georgia. That doesn't ring. First of all, what is that near as far as a town that we would all recognize if we heard the name? What are the primary tracks that you run at in your dirt late model?
It's really close to.
Yeah.
We're about 45 minutes south of Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I ran this past year. I was running at Genoa, in Genoa, Georgia, and the first two races we were running at Deep Dixie Speedway in Woodstock, Georgia, and Walton Speedway in Bolton, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Maddie, I know that when you're your age, or anyone's age for that matter, and you've got, I love it. I love the energy. I love the excitement that I hear in your voice. And I can also tell that around this game long enough that you've got a balanced, very realistic outlook of what it takes to make it. What is in your plans for your future? Not necessarily if route, because I believe it will. I think it already has. But what other things are you interested in as far as career-wise?
You know, I don't know. I'm one of those people. I have all these ideas, and I cannot make up my mind. I do not know. But yeah, college. You know, whether I'm actually, you know, going to school or if I'm doing it online, but I don't know. I have an interest in mechanical. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just kind of going either that or, yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to make up my mind.
You know, my son is 17, and every single day I come home, there's something from college is on the counter, and we're looking at all that. And I asked my son the same question, my own son, and I said, what is it that you really want to do? And he looked back and said, Dad, I'm not sure. So I totally get that, and I think if most people were honest, I think, man, I don't know if I even had a clue what I was going to do the next week, much less. That's a very good approach, Maddie.
It's crazy because, like, they want you to know when you're, like, a freshman in high school, and I'm about to be a senior. You know, I still have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Our producer, Dale Hall, he went to school to be a bull rider and then decided to know. But anyway, we're going on the line right now by Maddie Crane. Maddie Dale's the reason why I mess with him like that. Maddie, I don't get the privilege of interviewing a lot of female racers, and one of the things that Dale brought up, and it was an excellent idea, no kidding, that we should, try to look and get some diversity and whatever, and get some females. Now, one of the things that I think of when I think of female racers, there's one name that comes to my mind, and it's Dana. I think she probably is more in the spotlight than anybody else I know. As a young female driver, do you look to her any differently than, say, you would else? And the follow-up to that is, who is your favorite Sprint Cup driver?
I don't know if I look for us differently. I think it's awesome to do female races, and again, I'm just another driver. My favorite driver, awesome. Growing up, I've always looked up to him, so he's definitely my.
Got it. Maddie, before we let you get out of here, I know that it takes a lot of help, and one of the things that we wanted to use the Deep Dixie Racing Report for our guests, whether you're a track owner, a promoter, a car owner, a driver, whatever the case may be, it takes support to do this these days. We want to give everybody an opportunity to give some love to them out, both financially, sponsorship-wise, and even the folks that help you out turning the wrenches on the car. Just a little idea of the folks in Maddie Crane's world that helps her go racing.
Well, that's my sponsors, Atlanta Air Exchange, Air Tech, Wicker Lane Vinyl, Purple Bell and Associates, to be here right here, and got me started in racing, and, just my family for all their support. I wouldn't be able to do it without them, and, all the
Very good, very
Shout out to all of them guys.
Yeah, very cool. We are wrapping up our conversation. Crane, she's a 17-year-old dirt late model driver at this point. She's kind of transitioning into this. And Maddie, my parting question to you before we let you go, just a few miles down the road, pretty historic track here, an asphalt track, and I hear the advertisement often. They advertise Watermelon County as the only asphalt track in Georgia other than Atlanta Motor Speedway, is what I've heard. Do you have any plans of racing, say, at Watermelon Capital? And another place I think of is when they do the Snowball Derby. Where's that, Pensacola? Do you guys have any ideas of any of the aspects catch you at between now and the end of the year?
We ran at Speed Fest this past year at Cordell. To be honest with you, that's so kind of far ahead. I mean, not really far ahead, but that's not really something we've talked about lately. So I don't know, maybe, but right now, all we really got planned is when I go back to Shenandoah for Virginia and run one of the races, and hopefully go to Langley in September and the race there. So really, that's all that we have planned, and hopefully more in the future.
Maddie, do you have a Facebook page or a website, or how can...
I do. You can find me on Facebook under Maddie Crane. I think the same on Twitter at Maddie Crane Racing, I think. So, yeah, you can check me out on Twitter.
Very good.
Okay. Maddie, did Clint get your car fixed? Did he tore up?
I've been to the shop lately, so I'm pretty sure. Hopefully they're working on it. Yeah, I think he tore it up pretty bad, so I'm not sure.
Maddie, I want to tell you, our producer, he actually has had an opportunity to interview you, I think, on several different Very, very impressed with you, and I want to tell you after this interview, I am as we really do appreciate you taking time out to join us tonight. We wish you the very best, not only in your racing career, this year in high school as a senior, and we pray that God you in all that you do, sis.
No problem. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Better do this again real soon. God bless you, and we'll talk to you. All right. That's Miss Maddie Crane, Meansville, Georgia. How cool is that? You couldn't have planned that any better. But I tell you, listen, what a well-grounded young lady. I mean, being in racing for about 7 years now, that's a lot of pressure. And you can tell that she's well-spoken. She knows how to respond, and I love the fact that holistic outlook, and those are the kind of people that usually end up making it. And so if you want to check her out on Facebook, I think it's Maddie Crane Racing. She's also got Twitter, and I'm pretty sure you can Google her, and you may catch her up in Shenandoah and at Langley Speedway up in Virginia. That is Miss Maddie. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Starting to show out. 17 years old, actually mixing it up at Eldora Speedway.
Yeah.
A lot of drivers, solid racers that have been in this game for their entire life have been able to do that. So that's a pretty big deal. And only a senior in high school, man.
I could imagine doing that.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you tuning in to the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Pastor Todd, sharing track announcer, and cock host, alongside of Brian Hester, our producer, Mr. Dale Hall. Of course, we're coming to you live from the Rescue Smoke right here on exit 75, on Interstate 75 in beautiful Sycamore, Georgia. Raymond and Amy at the restaurant. They're great folks, man. I eat every Thursday night when I come down here. Usually eat too much, but good. They are award-winning cooks. These folks take good care of you. Great atmosphere. They're going to be open night. You got plenty of time to come on out. You don't have to worry about dressing up unless you just want to. Atmosphere is casual. You'll love it. The food, and it's delicious. Come on and check them out. That's the Rescue Smokehouse Grill, exit 75 off of Interstate 7. Thanks to Mike Hurt and the folks at 5-Star Hyundai 650 Russell Parkway in Warner Robins, Georgia. Also, and our friends at Heartland EMS down in Cochran, Georgia. And our latest partner in sponsorship is the good folks at Carroll and Country Store, just down the road a piece, exit 82. We appreciate Mr. Hugh Hardy, Mr. Johnny Walker, that entire staff. We're going to be telling you a lot more about them people. It's going to be a great partnership. They're open 7 to 7 months. They are closed on Sunday to allow people, their employees and themselves to go out and worship the Lord. I like that. And so go to exit 82. Again, this is our female show tonight. I guess that's what we can call it, that are live with us in the restaurant.
It's the pink version.
It's the pink version. Okay. That's what
it's going to be part one or part two.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're going to try to do it again.
Yeah, we got a lot of folks that was unable to make it tonight that we were hoping would get here, and it looks like hopefully that things will be a little more settled down next week. Our thanks to Maddie Crane. We're going to be talking to Miss Morgan Williams. She's going to be talking to us and telling racing career. You're going to want to hear that story. That is a great, great story. Also, Pam Harrington, Glenn Harrington, and the mother of Will Harrington. And she's been around racing for a long time. We want to get a look and a perspective of what it's like to be at the racetrack. You're the wife and a mother of one of the racers. And I believe that we just recently had Miss Morgan Forom. Morgan, it's good to meet you. My name is Todd, and your granddad has the best fast lake in the state. Glad to have her with us tonight. And Morgan is actually the daughter of a legend here in Middle Georgia, Mr. Jim Forom. And Jim, by the way, if you and Karen are tuning in tonight, some prayers are with you. And we hope that you get well real soon, and maybe you can come in and be with us. And the sister, Will Forom. Will is one of our competitors in a brand new series that we started Speedway just a few weeks ago. I guess it's probably been going on maybe 2 months now.
Yeah.
The Junior Enduros, and I think Will is about 16 years old for the first couple races, but when he showed up in a big way, man. Will definitely got those genes from his dad, man, and his sister Morgan is going to be kind of coming and talking to us tonight. As a matter of fact, Dale, who do we have up next?
Morgan Williams.
Morgan Williams. Okay, let's see if we can get a hold of Morgan. And our thanks again to everybody for tuning in. Sorry we missed you last week. We played hooky. We laid out, man. We needed a break. And as far as we know, except through the holidays, we're probably going to ride this thing on out through the end of the year and probably farther. Morgan, Pastor Todd Sharon, Deep Dixie Racing Report. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We are so glad that you took time to join us. And Morgan, you are actually kind of being a part of history on our show. We're calling this the Pink Edition. This is part 1, and we are focusing pretty much on our female drivers and the members of our racing family that are females, and we really do appreciate you joining us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes. Morgan, I know that you have had some success. I know that you have won at some pretty historic tracks down at Needmore. I also know that you won on the high banks of East Alabama Motor Speedway, and that is some very, very impressive stuff there. For folks that may not be familiar with where you race and what division and who you may be, give us a snapshot of how you got started. Tell us your age, and give us an idea of what your racing is like now.
Well, I'm 22 years old, and I started racing in mini stock when I was 15 at Albany when it was still asphalt. And then we raced in Alabama for a couple of years racing enduro, and I'm still racing enduro now. I really just got into racing because of my dad and my whole family. There's several people in my family that race.
Mm-hmm.
I raced the car I had before this year, my enduro car. My dad actually built for my mom, and my mom raced it for several years, and then he raced it, and then I raced it. So we always just called it our family car.
All right. Sounds good. If you're just tuning in, we're joined on the line right now by Miss Morgan Williams. And Morgan, Dale Hall, our producer, we usually speak throughout the week. Brian and I do too. And we were kind of talking about the show, unlike, it's not any different than any other week, but that was a little bit different from the standpoint that we were going to be talking to some female drivers. And Dale shared something with me that was incredible, and I'll try to set it up. And as much as you feel comfortable talking about it, I think it's an incredible story, and I'd like for you to expound on it. First of all, congratulations. I think Dale tells me that you're in the medical field and you're a nurse. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I work at the ER in Thomasville.
Oh, bless your heart. Morgan, I'm actually a hospice chaplain, and I work with nurses every day, and God bless you for what you do, especially in the ER. I know that's an incredible responsibility. But Morgan, I'm not exactly sure when this happened, but you were involved in a pretty nasty crash, not on the racetrack, but in your passenger car. And out of that, well, I would describe it as life-altering injuries. And first of all, how you're doing from that crash, how's your recovery, and kind of walk us through what happened there.
Well, I'm doing fine, obviously. I mean, I told my parents all I wanted to do after was be able to go back to work and go back racing. That's all I wanted, and that's what I did. It happened last year in April of 2014, and it had just been raining all week, and I had the plane, and my car spun around, and I hit a guardrail. And I had to go to the hospital, and I had fractured my femur bone in one of my legs, and then my other leg was pretty messed up that they couldn't have amputated. And I was in the hospital, and then I did a bunch of rehab. and I was back at work, and then I was back on the floor in the ER back September.
Wow, that is incredible. Guys tuning in, now you can kind of understand why I encourage you to make sure you are near your computer with Morgan Williams. Morgan, I really, you recounting that, and one of the reasons that I asked you that was because I felt like that you would be a great inspiration to whoever may be listening to this. And you being in the medical field, when that accident happened, did you realize right away how bad your leg was hurt?
I don't remember. I don't remember the first 3 or 4 days after my accident. The EMS, I was working at the hospital at the time, so I knew everyone, and they all said that I was talking to them, and they said that I was joking around with them, but I don't remember anything from the first couple of days.
Right. Folks, we are on the line right now with a very, very inspirational young lady. Her name is Morgan Williams. She's 23 years old. She's an ER nurse, which is in and of itself heroic. She's also a part of a racing family. Just about everyone in her family has raced, and naturally she followed into their footsteps. She drives in the Road Warrior class, and she just told us about a serious accident that she had in her passenger car back in April of last year, and as a result of that, she had one of her legs amputated. And Morgan, I guess my next question is this: being a race car driver and knowing pretty much everybody knows the setup on a car, you've got pedals and that sort of thing. How has your injury affected your driving as far as the use of your legs?
It really hasn't at all. It's mainly instead of using my ankle to smash the gas pedal, I'm just moving my leg up and down. Before, where I was just moving my ankle.
Okay.
And the only modification that we made is that on the pedal, we just put little sides on each side so that my foot would not slip off and I not realize it.
Man, that's incredible. Morgan, now you won a big race at East Alabama. You've won at Needmore, and I know that you drive in what I guess those tracks call the Road Warrior division. We call them the Bombers down at Cochran, where I work. That is one of the most competitive classes. Yeah. I mean, they have a huge field of cars every single time that we race, and to be able to win in that division, period, is doing something. But I know you can't do it without a lot of help. Give us an idea, other than your family, obviously, that helps you, of any of the sponsors and the supporters that you have.
Well, Rehab Engineering, they're actually the people who make my prosthesis. He helps me out in general, like as far as just helping me with my leg, and he always calls it my racing sponsorship. Because without the leg, I'm just going to be racing again.
Absolutely.
And then Langdale Fuel out of Valdosta, Georgia, is where we get my racing fuel and helping us out. And then Lawrence Automotive Machine Shop, which is where my dad works when we do all our machine shop.
Very good.
And other than that, it's just my mom and dad and I.
Get her to share with us the family members that's involved in racing too.
Yeah, Morgan, the question and the request is this. I know you mentioned you have several family members, including your parents. Give us a snapshot of the people in your family that race and who they are, division. Are they still actively racing and so forth?
Well, my mom used to race. She raced in Enduro. My dad still races. He hasn't raced this year, and he was racing in hobby. My Uncle Travis, he races in hobby, bomber, at hobby usually. My other uncle used to race go-kart. My dad's father used to race as well. And then my mom's father, Larry Denton, used to race a lot all the time, but I was too young to really remember, and he's passed away, so he doesn't race anymore. But I guess the most well known would be my grandpa, Larry Benton. I've heard so many stories about him being on and off the track.
He used to be at Thunderbolt Speedway.
You said Larry Benton?
Yeah.
Larry Benton is your grandfather, right, Morgan?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, Lord, yes, I know what you're talking about now, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that is a pretty big heritage there.
Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned something about the Langdale family. I know that is a large family as far as businesses and things like that. I've actually had the privilege of meeting Wesley Langdale. I don't know if you know Wesley. I don't know the others, but I met Wesley through go-kart racing actually. So good people. We really appreciate all that they do and your other sponsors. And Morgan, I got to tell you, just having you on and just being able to have a conversation with you tonight, it is so inspiring, not only to me, being the one asking the questions, but you have such a calm demeanor. And you know, a lot of times I have heard that someone that is dealt, you know, a challenging blow, a lot of times it can absolutely send their life into a tailspin, and a lot of people sink into depression and much worse. But I know it's not easy, and I'll never ever even allude to the fact that what happened to you was not incredibly traumatic. But it sounds like to me that you have handled this, well, perfectly. It sounds like to me that your attitude and you got yourself right back in the game, not just racing, but right back at your job. And we want to give you a huge compliment for that, sis. Thank you so much.
and it just my life into a whole different world, but it was all about how you handled it, and I knew that I wanted to go back to normal.
Very good, very good. Are you ready for the state race, Morgan?
We're working on it.
Ask her what her prediction. What's your prediction? What you gonna try to get up there and try to win that thing? There you go. Right. There you go. That's all I do.
Morgan, before we let you get out of here, I don't want to end the conversation without at least, I feel like almost borderline rude on my part. We only talk about racing. Do you have a family? I mean, are you married? Do you have children or anything?
No, sir. I'm not married and no children. I just have myself and my parents and my friends.
Cool. All right. Well, wanted to give you an opportunity there. A lot of times when we get dialed in on the racing talk, sometimes we don't always get a chance to acknowledge people's family. But Morgan, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and hopefully somewhere down the road we'll be able to meet personally. And our best to you in your racing, not only that, but in your career. And again, God bless you and thank you for your courage, your inspiration that you to give to each one of us tonight.
Okay. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. That is Miss Morgan Williams, and again, man, I know this is a racing show, and I know we talk about all things racing pretty much, but that is an incredible stuff. Some of my fondest memories of this show thus far, and I'm guessing now what months.
Yeah.
You know, we talked to Shane Neal, had an opportunity to talk to him, and we learned how he kind of injury. And yeah, to talk to Morgan Williams, a young lady, very early on, but absolutely just steps right up and looks it in the face.
But that quick, like work too. I mean, she had a record April an accident, like you said, you know, just fly off her.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she was back on the floor working June, July.
That's absolutely incredible. Absolutely. I tell you what, Dale, we are just about done with hour number one. If it's all right with you guys, time out. And when we come back, we're going to change gears a little bit. Our thanks to Maddie Crane and Morgan Williams for joining us at telephone and telling us their story, talking about their racing career. Two young ladies with a very, very bright future on them, Maddie Crane and more. And I know that they're going to go far in life, regardless of what happens with racing. Again, thank you, Dixie Racing Report. We do appreciate it. I missed being here last Thursday night. I really did. I was actually on. Brian and Dale had some things going on, and it was just that perfect storm. And it worked out that we took a week off. And I tell you, I missed through the feedback that we got. A lot of people called wanting to know where's the show, and that really makes us feel good.
I thought 7, no, 4, 7. I told you the other day, and you know, because I used to post something on Facebook, and you know, this hour like 20 minutes till 7, and I was like, me.
Yeah.
And
you know what? That makes us feel good. This was something really originated out of the mind, I guess, of Dale. Dale Hall with Deep Dixie Racing, which in my mind, hands down, was I'm a part of this show long before this show was ever even a call. I will tell you, the DeepDixieRacing.com, that is the best on racing, and these guys pretty much brought it up from nothing. I remember when Dale had South Georgia Motorsports back, sending newspaper articles and things like that, and now it's turned into a much bigger thing with Deep Dixie Racing. Again, our thanks to Dale Johnson. And, you know, Brian Hester's been a friend, a great racing family member. And, you know, for us to be able to do this on Thursday, man, it really is a neat deal. And to have a place to do it.
You know, I told you yesterday that I had a family come up to me at the restaurant. And I've had this happen several times. I had somebody at the Wing Shack, you know, come up to me and talk. Did you see me out, or any of us? Come up, talk to us.
Absolutely.
Ask us who it is. You know, I ain't too many people that that like a kid like me, so I'm pretty recognizable. But just come up and talk to me. That was a nice. If y'all watching tonight, I don't remember your name. They was very genuine about it. Told me how much they enjoyed the show, and I was just kind of, I was just shocked. I was like, man, somebody really like watching me, you know.
Yeah, very, very good.
Well, the way also I'm talking to you and us and the people who come on and all, and they thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, they turn the TV off and watch it.
Well, you know, it really is true. When you are part of this racing family, that's exactly what it is. When you love racing and you enjoy it, it wasn't that long ago that something like this was possible. And to be able to just kind of add a little bit of flavor to our local area. Brian does a great job, bigger races out in different states, but just to be able to kind of keep our hand on the pulse of what's going on locally, very, very cool. And listen, hey, y'all watching, we really do. We feel like this show is going to make it. I mean, we say that with humility, but we judged it on the feedback people say, your comments, your questions, and just out and about. And so, absolutely. And we feel like that it's going to make it, and we want to make it better and better for you. We're about to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Miss Morgan. We're also going to be talking to Pam Harrington. These are family members of racers, and we want to get a look at what it's track. Somebody very close to you that's out there racing. And again, our thanks to Raymond and Amy here at the Rescue Smokehouse Grill here on Exit 75, Interstate 70. Very good place to eat, man. I promise you, we don't just build it up and talk about it because we broadcast from here, but it's really that good. It's outstanding. I mean, better than most places you'll eat. I promise. Affordable. These folks travel around in barbecue competition. They've won 50 grand at one point. They've won numerous titles, and more than that, they're just nice people. And Raymond and Amy down here, they're family-owned business, family operated. They're back there getting it done. And they're going to be open until 10 o'clock tonight. And if you want to come out straight from work, that's fine. If you've got the kids in the car with you, bring them on out. There's a whole lot more than one. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You got about 2 hours to make it. They'll be open until 10 o'clock tonight. Hurt. And our friends at 5-Star Honda, 650 Russell Parkway in Warner Robins, Georgia. Thank you that you do to help us with this show and all the people you help with racing. And, of course, Mr. Bill Cheek, Heartland EMS in Cochran, Georgia, celebrating 20 years of excellence in down there. They're our first responders at the racetrack. They also take care of our community in Middle Georgia. We love what you do. And our newest partner, the good folks at Carol Sausage. And this is one of the coolest places that you'll ever go, guys. They're about 7 miles up exit 82. And you'll see right there on the side of the interstate this beautiful, very unique in the way it looks. It's all wood. When you go in there, this is a Christian-owned and operated business. They're open from 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They're closed. And guys, they have got just about anything that you can want in there. If you want to get something short up.
Big truck parking, camper parking.
Oh, yeah. RVs and some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And we are partnering up with them. And our thanks to Hugh Hardy, Jr., Johnny Walker, and Jason Black. I've met a few of these people, and they're practically our neighbors about 7-8 miles north of here. Exit 82, go check them out. Again, thanks to all of them. We're going to take a short time out, and now would be a good time for you guys to take a break, too. When we come back, we're going to be joined live here in the restaurant by Pam and Miss Morgan Forom. And, Ryan, before we get done, I want your input on this, too. This was real easy to slip through the crack, and I just want you to chew on this a little bit. We have time at the end of the show, we'll talk about it. This was the 1-year anniversary of when Kevin Ward Jr. was killed in that horrible accident at Canandaigua. And just this week, I think I read, or maybe toward the end of last week, that there has another civil suit brought against Stewart. Listen, I don't have a dog in this fight, but it's an interesting racing subject. And I'm interested to see what you guys think about that. I don't want to know the answer now, but if we have time, I'd like to touch on that. But right now, we're going to take a break. Hope that you'll come back and be with us in just a few moments, right here live at the Rescue Smokehouse Deep Dixie Racing Report. We'll be right back. go, Dale. Let it go. You know you're supposed to All right, folks. Once again, we welcome you back to the Deep Report, coming to you live from the Rescue Smokehouse Grill right down here on exit 75. Exit 75, man, they are definitely cooking it up good here tonight. You still got until 10 o'clock to something good to eat. Again, thank you for joining us. This is part one of our what we're calling our pink edition of the Deep Dixie Racing Report, meaning that we are shifting our focus a little bit. We're talking to the female members of our racing family. Again, our thanks to Miss Fennis, also Miss Morgan Williams, two outstanding young ladies that did excellent on their interviews. Man, what an inspiration it was to hear from her. And right now, joined in the restaurant here live, a good friend of mine. I've known these people for a long time, been around racing for a long, long time. And I know that she has a whole lot of insight, and I'm sure that she shares the sentiments and the feelings of a lot of racing wives and racing mothers. We're joined right now from Cochran, Georgia, by a good friend, also a racing wife and mother, Miss Pam Harrington. Pam, how are you tonight?
I'm good.
We're good. It's good to have you. Now, Pam, I know that a lot of people down in our area, not just around Cochran, but even around East Alabama Motor Speedway and all of these tracks within Reason, Golden Isle, they know of your son, Will. I remember when Will literally was knee-high, would come and grab me around the legs, and now Will's bigger than I am. Or Will entered into the picture. You married into a racing family, and your husband Glenn is affectionately known for years, and I guess he still is, as the Godfather. How did you and how were you in racing before that ever happened?
We actually met in Hawkinsville. We're from Hawkinsville. Everybody knows this. We actually met in Hawkinsville. And he went to the race. He didn't race then. He actually went to the races with her. And we started going to the races, and then we started racing for actually him all out of something.
Wow.
And I had never been to a dirt track race until I started racing. Believe it or not, never started racing.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we're joined a good friend and a member of our racing family, Miss Pam Harrington, just recounting how her and her husband Glenn met and how they kind of eased into racing it when the Turk family, Mr. Walter, Miss Ann. I don't know if they tune in. I'm guessing they probably do. Hello, Mr. and Miss Turk, and Ronnie Rex, and Cheryl and Tammy, all of you. We love you, great people. That was a short up race family there. And I still miss seeing them out there. I mean, they come every week, but out on the racetrack, that 17 car, and so many people drove up. Pam, I guess one of the things that I would like to know, and I know a lot of people talk to me about this as an announcer, and people that find out I work at the racetrack, they're like, oh my goodness, I could never ever go out there and watch my husband or my son or somebody. It would just kill me. Tell us a little bit about that. How does it affect you?
Well, that week I thought I was but when Will started, I really was nervous. His first year of racing, they used to pick on him 7, 8, 4, 5, and one of those old-timey ponies. And so I was just so nervous. And I don't know if y'all ever watched me make the races, but I can't do that myself.
Yeah. I actually remember well when Will started. It was incredible. You know, talking about from a mother's perspective, we've got a brand new division that we've introduced actually just a few months ago at Cochrane called the Junior Enduros. As a matter of fact, one of the drivers, Will Forom, his sister, and Morgan's going to be talking to us a little bit about that. It'll be interesting to see what it's like from a daughter and a sister standpoint. How do you deal with that? I mean, the moments at the track, even though Will and Glenn both have proven they're winners, they're excellent drivers, is there still times that you feel like you're overwhelmed with being nervous and afraid?
Oh, yes, I do a lot of I'm afraid. I could tell you how many times on Saturday night before he gets out there, and I do a lot of afraid.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I can tell you that your family is so much a car racing family at Cochrane, and pretty much, you know, wherever you guys go, everybody knew Glenn. I remember watching Glenn with the 99 car, and I mean, Glenn was a grinder on the racetrack too, and he was a winner as well. Now, when you realized that this was something that was not going to be just a kind of a hobby, we'll do this for you, and then we're going to kind of back off, we'll get a boat, we'll go to the lake, we'll do this, we'll get into this and that. Did you kind of just follow along with the flow, or did you offer any resistance, or how did that work out?
I was always, because I knew that where his heart was, I always supported him. And then when I first came out real quick, he was 12, I was a little apprehensive, but once he got out there and I saw that he could handle his own, he's always had my full, and I had never missed a race.
Yeah.
So never. I missed you with playing, with all the wheels.
Yeah, absolutely. Those of you that are just joining the Racing Report, first of all, we appreciate you being with us, and you came on a good night. This is what we are calling our Pink Edition, Part 1 on the Deep Dixie Racing Report, and we're shifting our focus a little bit. We're doing some female drivers and people that are in the roles of mothers, wives, sisters, daughters, that sort of thing. And we're joined live right now by Miss Pam Harrington. And Pam, I guess one that I'd like to ask you, I remember seeing Will when he drove in his first race. I remember when Will won his first race. I remember it well. And then I watched Will kind of climb up through the ranks. And in my mind, now, of course, you being his member, every detailed step, but it's almost like a blur. It's almost like Will was little Will. He got it, and then overnight he was in a late model, and he was winning. Was the pressure, or is the dynamic of the racing, whether it be the excitement, the fear, the nervousness, how does it differ from a versus a late model when you're out there starting alongside, say, Shane Plant, one of these other guys, Rodney Johnson?
Well, when he started in Road Warrior, he was 12, and he just had a win. So, that was pretty intimidating. But he did good. I think he won, 8 races like this. And then when he moved up to a late model, I was very nervous. That I think I got a race we ended up finishing 4. He ran really good, and I thought, well, he got it. And don't take the nervousness away, but he just did good right off the bat. Warrior, I think the first Road Warrior race he actually led some, and then he ended up out at least still won that race.
Mm-hmm.
So he just right from the start.
Right. If you're just tuning in, we're joined live right now with Miss Pam Harrington, not only wife of Glenn Harrington, but mother of Will Harrington. And Will has won a points championship at Cochrane. He is always a threat everywhere he goes, talking about the big Labor Day weekend coming up, $10,000 to win. That race was to be run on Independence Day weekend, and the rain got us on Saturday. We did get qualifying tonight. and Will be the pole sitter for that race. And you know, Pam, I hear drivers. We've talked to a lot of drivers, car owners, people that work on the car, crew members, and it seems like that has their own little tradition, their own little routine that they go through on race day. As a wife and as a mother, let's just say on a normal weekend, starting out Saturday morning, walk us through your day on a race day.
Well, it depends on if it worked that day. A lot of times, do a whole lot of, you know, what I can. Have to make sure. Usually, we all had a certain shirt and a certain pair of
Dishes, is he?
and if those boxes were not clean, I would have to walk that afternoon to make sure. I have actually taken his shirt to the because he was just that superstitious. And he told me when we get to the racetrack that I have to get an order of cheese sticks because I've always got no bad luck. He's like, Mom, cheese sticks.
See, that's the kind of that's the reason we have the pink edition of the Deep Dixie Racing Report, because you get to find out about Will Harrington's box. You're going to find that out.
Hey, Tyler Crowder, he showed us his pink underwear on race night.
Okay.
Down at Golden Isles one night. So they got superstitions, and it doesn't.
All right, there you have it, folks. You're just tuning in. Thanks for joining us. We're talking with Miss Pam Harrington, Lynn Harrington's wife, and Will Harrington's mother. Shifting gears here just a moment, Pam, before I let you get a lot of people know your family primarily as racers, and rightfully so. I mean, there are people that I know from other tracks in different parts of the state or even the Southeast that I know them but I know them as racers now because we are local and we are friends. I know you guys as more than racers. You guys are more than friends, more than racers. You're my friends. One of the things that I noticed early on about your son, and like I said, we've all known Will. It's still part of the we've all known Will since he was really a child, a toddler, and grow up. And one of the things I remember early on about Will is he was such an even to this day. As a matter of fact, when Will walked into the restaurant tonight, Dell and I were already here. First, come over there and give me a big that's the way he is. And a few years ago, I'm not sure how long it's been, 2, 3. Will came to me one night, said he had got saved, and that he wanted to be baptized. To this day, one of the greatest honors of my ministry, and to God be the glory, I'm the least among us, but I've had an opportunity to preach in a lot of places and get to meet a lot of cool people. But on the banks of the river, and we baptized your son, and I was thinking, I didn't want to say anything about it because this was kind of a personal thing. So I kind of kept it hush hush. I rolled up at the landing, and there was probably 60 people there at least. From a standpoint as a mother, racing aside, how does it feel to know that son has turned out?
It's wonderful. And the day that you baptize him, the happy day, no win or race is ever compared.
Absolutely. I agree.
That you baptized, if I recall, there was another.
You're right.
That came that witness Will, and he actually baptized him.
You know what? That's exactly right. I was about to come out the water, and somebody come and approached me, and I said, "Here, we got the water. We got somebody. Let's do it." And you're right. And that was absolutely what I'm talking about. You got to have. There's something about a personality that draws people, and because of what happened that day, and I am sorry when that man decided to go to the river I don't think he ever dreamed in a million years he'd get baptized, but he did that day. Oh, I'm glad you remembered that. These folks, I will tell you, they're a major part of our race doctrine, and not only just the racing, but God has allowed us to cross paths. Actually, Will's great granddad and Will's grandfather, or Glenn's grandfather, was on the hospital. Got to visit with him, and again got to be a part of your family. And Pam, you guys have always had, let's say, is an excellent spirit. You know, I know that racing is a tough game. Things don't always go your way, and there's times when things get heated, stuff like that. But you guys, you know, you're not perfect ideas, but you guys handle yourself well around the track, and we appreciate that. Any parting words before we get out of here?
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're glad to be here, and I'm going to tell you something. It's almost kind of cute and laughable to me because Pam was nervous, and I'm going to tell you something. There's never a time I don't get nervous. I'm serious. I do, man. It's nerve-wracking. But you did a great job, Pam, and I love your honesty and just getting up here and just saying it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever get an opportunity to meet these folks outside of the racing, Pam and Glenn, some great people. There's some you'll have an opportunity, I'm sure, to cross paths with them. Brian Hester's wanting to come up here, and I think Brian is wanting to do some freestyle rapping, is what he said. I don't know if we got time for that, Brian.
He's got his well for it.
All right, chew your food.
Oreo Delight. How many foot tubs are you bringing to state racing? One of them's for me. Are you bringing?
Okay, I'll bring you one, Michael Davis one, and Tina Nico one. So that's 3 right there, right there.
All
right, what's that called?
Oreo Delight.
Oreo Delight.
I've heard people fight.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna make 4, have I?
Make some extra. We get feet down over an Oreo now. All right, now. Pam, we really do appreciate it. Thank you for being here. God bless you. And race fans, to meet this lady at the racetrack, do it. I promise you, you'll enjoy your conversation with her, her and her husband, Glenn. And I'm going to tell you something without going into a lot of detail. These are solid, resilient. I know personally because I've been their friend. They have been through a lot of hardships, and they remain happy people and great people to be around at the racetrack. Man, this is. We've got a couple of female drivers and also some more mothers and things like that. We're efforting for next week. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. Become something that really gains some traction right away. As soon as the idea was brought up, a lot of people that responded in a positive way. And so we are calling this our Pink Edition Part 1. Just a cute little name Dale put on it, and I think it's a good name as we shift our focus on the female members of our racing family. Again, we've had an opportunity to talk to Miss Maddie Crane, who went up and raced with the big boys at Eldor Speedway in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Also with Morgan Williams in hour number 1. She's a 23-year-old woman. She's an emergency room nurse. Outstanding young lady. Absolutely got a great story. We'll be able to follow up with her. She's racing. She's winning races at East Alabama Motor Speedway. And probably one of the most riveting parts of our conversation is was involved in a passenger car accident back in April of last year. As a ended up losing a leg. That didn't stop her. In just a matter of weeks, she was back to work at the hospital in Spar. And Morgan, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your story with us. All right. Go ahead and bring Morgan Forom up here. Come on up here, Sister Morgan. And I've been telling you all night long that we were respected from our female racing family members, those that have been a part of time. And this young lady right here, she comes from a great family, not only a racing family, but people. And we're joined right now by a young lady in our neck of the woods. Her name is Morgan Forom. Morgan, it's good to have you with us tonight, sis.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now listen, I told you that talk about just racing here on the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Let me kind of set this up, and I'm going to let Morgan tell us. Her father is named Jim Forom, and Jim has been a stalwart. I mean, an athlete in dirt track racing, late model dirt track racing in our area. And then Morgan's, he's 16 years old. Will's 16, right?
Yes.
And he recently started racing in what we call the junior enduros. It got to make it out in the initial first 4 or 5 races, but he got his car ready, come out there, and he's been racing the last 3 or 4 times. He absolutely caught on very quickly and has done very well at it. And Morgan, I know that before we go any farther, Dale was telling me that your dad, Jim, had to go back, and they're doing a little more work on him. Just give us an idea how your dad and how your mom's doing.
Well, Danny's doing pretty good. He went to XA today, of course. He had an appointment, and then they found out that his heart rate was a lot too high. So they had to, they told him that they were going to do a cardiac, and so they're going to do that. And
Okay. And that's basically, in layman's terms, just getting your heart back in rhythm. So, you know, we would never ever disclose anything of a person Morgan didn't care, and I know Jim wouldn't care. Keep Jim in your prayers. A great guy. Just some pretty much work. You've had some work done on your heart, and like she said, wasn't expecting for it to turn into an overnight thing. But I know that. Morgan, you're here on behalf of your family here tonight. And first of all, with your dad racing and being a winner, a big part of the racing community, what's memories of racing and how far back can you remember going to the dirt track?
oh gosh, really, when I was I'm always on. Even when I was little, I can always remember just getting ready on Saturday morning and going to the racetrack. When I got older is when I really started to understand how races work. And I always felt that on Saturdays when we were getting the car ready. But I've been in it forever.
For those of you, thank you for visiting with us on the Deep Dixie Racing Report. We're joined right now live in the restaurant here by Miss Crane. And Morgan is the daughter of Jim Forom, late model dirt racer down in our area, and she's the older sister of Will Forom. Now, Morgan, we talked about with Pam how it felt to be at the racetrack when you got in. Did you ever find yourself being outright scared and nervous when your dad?
All the time. All the time. You know, you really don't understand it until you have somebody out there racing that you relate to. But I always learn it. It's just always.
Okay, now it's actually been a while since Jim has actually, you know, been actively racing. I remember seeing Jim come back years ago, but as far as the actual lion's share of his racing, I think it's probably in the past. And man, does he ever have a legacy. Now, looking forward, 16-year-old brother, how does it differ, you being an adult now, watching your little brother race versus your father? How does that differ?
I thought I was nervous when I watched my daddy race. There's nothing compared to my little brother because he is my top priority. And so I'm probably overprotective of it. But really, he may be taller than me, but I'm too good. But I will always be his big sister. So, you know, it's a lot more nerve-wracking to feel in that, you know, I didn't get to watch Daddy learn how to race. And I'm watching Will grow from week to week. It's, you know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous no matter what class you're in. But I'm more nervous with wanting him to do well in each week. So, and it's really, I've loved watching his confidence build in himself. So.
Now, is it just you and Will at that you are the only, that's what I thought. And before I just said that, I wanted to make sure there wasn't a brother or sister. Now, I can tell you, watching the races with the junior enduro, I got to tell you, I've got to admit, I get nervous. I really do. I have a lot out there, and as you mentioned, it is dangerous. I mean, sometimes, and thankful to almost never does anything bad happen. I mean, but we all know that there's the chance that it can. And I got to tell you, man, just a few weeks ago, actually, one of the last races we had, what might be one of the most frightening down there. Were you there that night? What was the rest of your life like after that?
Very nerve-wracking. Even imagine being in the position that his family would be in, because I know my brothers were in you're supposed to stay away, but you won't get them out. So I was nervous and tired.
Good answer, man. I tell you that it was kind of hard to put into words. Thank you for tuning in tonight to the Deep Dixie Racing Report. This is part one of the Pink Edition, meaning that we are focusing on female members of our racing family. And I'm joined right now live by Miss Morgan Forom. She is the older sister of Will Forom, who's just beginning his racing career in the junior enduro division. Is a legend, Jim Forom. And so she's been around this, as she said, since she was in her mother's. If anybody ought to know, it ought to be her. Now, Morgan, not too long ago, the thought female driver actually being taken seriously and maybe even being accepted and not ridiculed, that was something that was an impossibility just really in recent memory in your lifetime. And now you're how old?
20.
You're 20 years old, okay. At 20 years old, growing up with a racing father, seeing how that your brother has began racing, did you ever have any desire to race?
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Wait a minute now, I'm getting over here from this part. Maybe we need to dig into this a little more. Now tell me about this.
Well, really, a couple of weeks ago, I was a little salty about the whole situation because I thought I was going to go racing, and I was from week to week watching, but I guess he just didn't get his little girl in a racetrack out there. They said I can't handle myself.
Okay, let me translate that to our viewers. You are bent because racing, not you.
Very much.
I knew it. I'm not even a mind reader. Well, listen, there's enough cars floating. I'm sure that there's one out there that there may be even somebody watching right now that maybe wants to put Fordham behind the wheel. Are you down?
I'm down like 4 flat tires. Hey, Morgan Forom.
I hear you, girl. Have you ever been around with your dad's car and having so many friends? Have you ever even went out and practiced or anything? What is the role on the team? Like Pam said that she was, in the beginning, we found her role, and then it became certain rituals that they tried to keep going. You said that you would be at the shop. Seriously speaking, I mean, obviously, the ropes. I mean, you can check tire pressure. You can do this. What are on your dad's car?
Oh, God. Everything. I'm the reason that car runs. But whenever he do, rivets, that's real simple. I can't leave his battery on time. Out, making sure it's good. Really, I'm the supervisor. Head boss in charge.
Okay. Have you ever gave him any input on setups?
Setup. Well, I try, but me being a girl and all, I guess he doesn't realize.
We're joined right now by Morgan. Her dad is Jim Forom, and man, I'm gonna tell you memories that I have of your dad. Jim was on the track, man. I mean, and Jim was just smooth. It just seemed like he just had his own way of doing things. You know, being close enough to your dad, being close enough to your family like that, I mean, literally your entire life. When Jim, when his health started declining and things started happening, what was it like as his daughter? I mean, how did that really impact your dad? Whether this racing was going to have to slow down?
It was extremely hard for him. You know, I know he raced a couple of years ago and had to stop again because of the car. And what got him out there was, you know, every weekend I said, "Hey, racetrack, let's go." You know, he never would because he knew that if he went out to that racetrack, he was going to race car. So I finally got him to go one Saturday, and he said he got the sensation, and so he started back, and his car started declining. And then when Will started that race, you know, I figured it really wanted to go because he did, you know, seeing something that you love and you can't do it. So it was really hard. Word has it that he might be getting another one, maybe. I don't know. Well, I don't know about late model.
Okay.
But maybe another car, I hope.
All right. Now, if once that comes down, to break the story here on the Deep Dixie Racing Report, we good with that?
We're good with that.
All right.
I might have to take some counseling or something.
I hear you. I want to change gears before I let you out of here, Morgan. And by the way, you're doing a great job. I love to have fun. I really do. You know, sometimes we take ourselves so serious. And I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll tell you right now, I'm just out. But I appreciate the energy you bring. Your grandfather, Mr. Buddy Williams, is Buddy and Colleen watching tonight?
I imagine.
They are watching. I love you, and I appreciate our friendship. Your granddad and you're the coolest people I've met, and they're Morgan's grandparents, Buddy and live down in Lawrence County. They've got a beautiful, beautiful home, this beautiful land that is just awesome, and deer running across the field. Got a lake down there that is the best fishing in the world, and I became friends with Mr. Buddy. I don't know how long ago, 5 years ago maybe or something, become a good friend of mine. And Mr. Buddy, if you're watching, thank you for all the good times, man. You've allowed me to share coming down to your pond. I'm telling you what, man, that is a trophy bass lake, and I've got the pictures to prove it. Is what I'm talking about. But I know that Mr. Buddy's in the last year, really, he had some things happening too. And I talked to you a little bit before you came up during the break. And from where I'm standing, Mr. Buddy is the same old Mr. Buddy. I don't see any kind of side effects or anything for him. He's still doing good, right? Very good. All right. Well, Morgan, it has been a pleasure talking to you, sis. And maybe sometime in the near future, you can come back down here. And Dale, what do you think about in the Deep Dixie Racing Report? Maybe during the break, we mix in a little comedy segment with Morgan. What do y'all think? Are y'all down with that?
No,
This is how this got. She did a Ricky Bobby on me over there the other night doing an interview.
Okay.
I went to ask her a question. She just took the microphone away from me.
Okay.
29 and it gets something like.
Your brother wouldn't say much, so she took over.
Well, Morgan, any parting words that you want to share with us? Is there anything that maybe we didn't get to? Real quick, who is actually helping out with the car? I mean, I know this Junior Enduro, they're getting started, but I'm guessing it's mainly your family. Anybody else that you want to mention?
I know, I will.
Thanks, boy.
I really think Will and the car side. We really appreciate it.
Okay. All right, then. Well, man, it was a good time. Do this again real soon, Morgan. Thank you so much. All right, that is Miss Morgan Forom, and what a neat young lady. Brother that's just getting started with racing, and I promise you, I think you've seen all you need to see right there. The lady around the racetrack, go up and say hi to her. I know that it'll be a fun time for you. And it looks about on the white flag lap. Hold on one sec. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
While we are getting Erica Williams on the line, again, I want to welcome our newest sponsor to the Deep Dixie Racing Report. Carol Sausage and Country are just down the road from us, exit 82, and we really do appreciate us, and we look forward to our relationship with you. We're going to be telling you a whole lot more. Erica, Pastor Todd Sharon, Deep Dixie Racing Report. How are you, sis? Good. Hey, bye, y'all. God bless you. Have a safe trip. Erica, we're glad that you could come join us tonight. Of course, we've been watching, but we'll see you, Will. We're calling Peak Edition of the Deep Dixie Racing Report, Part 1. And Erica, what that means is we are on the female members of our racing family, and we've had an opportunity to talk to a couple of drivers. Of course, you know Pam. Here you got a son about the same age as Will, and you guys have been running for a long time too, Erica. Those of you that are just joining us, we're talking to Erica Williams. Erica is the wife of Frank Williams, the mother of Pearson Lee Williams, and these guys have been equally as important. In fact, there's a lot of similarities with Frank and Erica and Pearson Lee as there is with Glenn and Pam and Will. But Erica, tell us how you and Frank and how you guys got started in racing.
And that's where Frank and I met at the racetrack.
Okay. Now,
Been around for my whole life.
I know, and you have also been a very big part of the pits. Now, Erica, I think that one of the things that early on that I recognized about you, you were not, somebody that stood around and watched, but you have been hands-on not only with Frank but also Pearson Lee. Am I right?
Oh yes. When Frank was racing, for years it was just him and I, and we was on the road through the Carolinas. So that's when I really got involved. Pearson Lee started, of course, I wasn't saying back and let my son, go through the road. So I continued. Now I am stepping back.
Okay. Now, just like in Glenn's case, I think it's probably safe to say with Frank, I mean, Frank was a winner. You guys were competitive. So was Glenn. But when your son came along, got of age, and you guys discovered that he had the ability and the talent to do it, does Frank ever still consider maybe getting back into a car area?
He has no interest in getting back in. That he enjoys watching Pearson Lee race, and he enjoys, being there with him. That he's scared to get back in it.
Yeah. As hard as it is for some people to walk away from it, one of the things that I have noticed, and to be a common denominator that's almost without exception, if there's anything that a competitor away from something that they love, that is the support, help, and the love that it takes to have one of their children to do it. And that's absolutely what has happened in your case. When did Pearson Lee start, Erica?
He actually started at 13.
Okay.
He moved to Lake Mall at 14. So that's where he's at now.
Mm-hmm.
He run the Road Warriors about 3 years. Halfway through quit, he wanted to see and was like, you will finish up this year. And because I was looking more at Super Street or something, and he was like, no, I want to go all the way now. I did it, so he moved straight on to Lake Mall at 14, and I mean, he struggled his rookie year in Lake Mall, but it's all starting to come together with him. He does most of the work on the car himself now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know that. But Frank and I, when his dad was sick, we had to step away from it. We couldn't be right there and help him. We was just a track. So Pearson Lee had to stand up and make his own mistakes and get out there and work on the car himself. And so now he makes the calls at the racetrack, and since Frank's dad has away, we were able to be there more, happy. But I have I'm actually at my parents' house now, having them with stuff, but and, you know, he understands that we're not going to want to continue on and get to the point where he can go somewhere on his own without us, that he's got to do it on his own.
Right.
You know, and depend on himself for it.
Absolutely. We're joined right now by Erica Williams. Erica has been around racing her entire life. Her husband, Frank, was a winner in the late model division, and her son, Pearson Lee, followed in his steps. He's also a front runner everywhere he goes. Erica, I talked to Pam about this, Morgan Forom about this, and I want to ask you the question. As much as you have to concentrate and focus on so many at the racetrack on any given night, there's just so much that goes into it. Do you still get nervous watching your son?
Oh, Lord. I can't stand it. I wasn't as bad.
Yeah.
And when he first got back in it, I had to watch. I wasn't go around anyone. I had to get over to the side, away from everyone. But I know it's hard to say. I know he has all the safety equipment. So that does to me. But, I mean, I'll sit there and I pray every Saturday on Facebook. I pray when we get to the racetrack. And Pearson Lee knows it. I pray when he starts to pull out that, I pray before he gets in. I know if it stops, we'll, and, you know, but still, me just sitting there watching him, I get nervous because I'm trying to drive the car from the stand. I'm trying to tell him what to do, give him attention. But, you know, you still get nervous when it's your child.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter started, and I told her, I said, look, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. She said, I don't want Daddy to get mad. I said, your daddy will not get mad. I'll speak to her. Because I couldn't handle it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, things that I appreciate about you and Frank, and I said the same thing to Pam and Glenn. I've had an opportunity to be around Pearson Lee. Had an opportunity to be around you and Frank a lot over the years, and y'all such kind, sweet people. But I'll tell you, Pearson Lee, and I'm not saying this just because I don't believe in doing that. If I didn't have anything good to say, I just wouldn't say anything. Pearson Lee is an outstanding young man, and the times that I've had an opportunity to interview him have just been a perfect gentleman. And aside from being an outstanding racer at a young age, you and Frank be very, very proud that you've raised a fine young man, Erica.
We are. I mean, we raised me. We made him study. We tried to learn from him.
Right.
10 years old. But he'll still take you. I can't him disrespect an adult. Or because when he gets that age, he knows what happened. And so you do too strict because he knows I'm partial. The rate is probably the first thing partial. Because that's what he wants to do. You can take away phones, you can take away vehicles, so what? If you take away the one thing they really love, it is giving their attention.
Yeah, I agree.
He knows how to do it. He doesn't give us any trouble.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, he decided he was going to leave school. He didn't call me. And it took him about 2 weeks to realize the reason why, just by leaving school. But he finally realized it, and he told me, he said, I love you for understanding. I love you for understanding. He was going to be his first year going to state in Alabama. I wouldn't allow him to go. I was. You know, and he was like, now I understand why. You know, but it took, and, you know, him having to see the worry of if someone had called me and told me there was a wreck, I would have still caught him. And then he finally realized, you know, even the little stuff, it does make just let me know. No, you would have been in trouble. Just let me know if you're going to go get something to eat, or if you want to tell me. If it makes you feel good, just hope about that time. But tell me where you're at. Just so we'll know. And he had to learn the hard way, but we didn't have to worry about that.
Well, that's something that I always think of, no matter what kind of role, kind of hat we may wear in our life. To me, I am a husband and I'm a father first before I'm in and I know that you and Frank have done an outstanding job. And Erica, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us. You are definitely not just an important female member of our racing family, but an outstanding member of the racing family. And one thing, Eric, I want to say to you before I let you go, you have always seemed to be the voice of reason, and I appreciate that. Anytime there's some kind of a controversy or whatever, I have noticed that where you can, you try to be a peacemaker. You try to,
I don't like drama.
yeah, I can. Yeah, and so, you know, I appreciate that. And, you know, from a mother's, from an experienced racer standpoint, having a child out there, and, you know, we didn't talk about it a lot and go into it a lot, but Pearson Lee, he had a nasty crash. I remember the night it happened. I think Dale called me, was not there, and if I'm not mistaken, was that on a Sunday or Saturday?
It was on a Saturday.
Saturday, okay, and it was. And I did see the clip of what happened, and I tell you, man, that was a nasty crash, and that would take a second look at their decision. But you know, Erica, I guess it would have been last year. I had an opportunity to interview Pearson Lee, and I asked him about that. I debated, but I asked him about that. Did that affect your racing? Did it cause you to maybe be a little too conservative, made us to the point that you could get yourself in a bad spot? And he absolutely told me he respects it. He knows that it is dangerous, but I can tell you he has went on to win a lot of races. And from where I'm standing, if anything, that made him better as a racer.
Well, I don't know if you realize this, but from the night that the accident happened, 3 weeks later, he got back in the car. His first race back was in Concord. And he won the biggest race of his career so far.
Wow. You know, I remember that happened.
The Arlene Pittman Memorial race.
And you know what? I didn't know that it was 3 weeks. I really didn't know it was that quick, but I do remember that. And, you know, Erica, it's always good to see Pearson Lee and you guys at the track. Anytime I see that 121 roll up, man, I know he's going to be a threat. He always is. And Erica, we sure do appreciate you
Well,
coming
I
in.
didn't get to make it down there. Brian called me on a short notice tonight, and I had to come get my parents. So maybe next time I can make it down in person.
Perfect. We would love to do that. And thank you for your contribution and helping us cap the show off. And Erica, tell Frank and Pearson Lee that I said hello and our best to you and your family.
Okay, we will be in conference that Sunday of Labor Day.
Perfect. I'll be looking forward to seeing you. All right. God bless you, Erica. Have a good one. All right. That's Miss Erica Williams, mother of Pearson Lee Williams, wife of Frank Williams. And folks, it's been a great show tonight, man. It seemed like the time went by just like that. It's about 5 minutes after 9, and we're getting ready to shut it down. Again, I want to thank Raymond and Amy Poor, all of the staff here at the Rescue Smokehouse Grill for allowing us to set up shop and do the show live. We love coming here. It's a great feeling in here. It's a great atmosphere, a good vibe. They've got outstanding food. They give you plenty to eat, and it's affordable. You don't have to be dressed up unless you just want to come dressed up. Yeah, tuxedo, T-shirt, it doesn't matter. Come on. But they'll be open until 10 o'clock. You got about an hour left, and I promise you won't be disappointed in the food. Again, our thanks to our sponsors, Mike Bird, 5-Star Hyundai in Warner Robins, Bill Cheek with Heartland EMS in Cochran, and also our newest partner here on the Deep Dixie Racing Report, Carol Sausage and Country Store, right down the road from us. our thanks to Mr. Hugh Hardy Jr., Johnny Walker, and Jason Black and the entire staff down there. A great store, guys. I know you passed it, and I know that you've seen it. Take time to make that exit. Go in there and check it out. I promise you, there's so many cool things in that store. They've got RV parking there. They've got several locations that they would love to have you visit. And as we go into the future, I'm going to be getting some more information about that. But we're looking forward to our relationship with folks at Carroll.
Last word I want to say, 2 good races in this area. Below the belt line, Southern Thunder Dirt Series, need more. Saturday night, looks like they're going to have somewhere Rick Whitener said that they're coming up to run. Florida cars will be up there to run. And also All-Star Stock Car Series Saturday night at Golden Isle Speedway. The weather's supposed to be cooled off. Weather looks pretty good. So 67, 68 degrees tonight. So you got no excuse.
Perfect for racing, man. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for another edition of the Deep Dixie Racing Report. We kind of ventured out a little bit, tried something different, and we're calling it the pink edition of the Deep Dixie Racing Report, part 1. Next weekend, or excuse me, next Thursday, we're planning on coming back with part 2, and we'll have some more people. We've got some interviews that we're chasing right now. Again, our thanks to Maddie Crane, Morgan Williams, Pam Harrington, Morgan Forom, and last but not least, Erica Williams that called in. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. The same way that we started the show, we're going to close out with a word of prayer. And as Brian said, go out and support your local. I took a look at the weather in our area. I think it's 10%. And we're right at that little break. Not that it's going to get real cool, but we can see the temp back down a little bit. And entering into my favorite part of the year, fall. And so a lot of racing still left, a lot of action. Points championships coming down to the line. We've got some big notable races, an annual event at many tracks around. So take time out to go and bring a family member or friend to dirt track racing. Wherever you're at right now, we're going to ask, if you will, to pause as we dismiss our show. And Father, again, we thank you for the opportunity to come out, visit with one another, with friends that we've known for years, and to make some new friends. I thank you so much for everyone that participated. Thank you for those that help us out with sponsorship. And thank you for Raymond and Amy letting us use their restaurant to do this show. We love to talk about racing. We love to have fun, and we love to discuss it from as many angles as we can. But Lord, in the midst of all that, we also want to use this show to be an inspiration. And Lord, we want to be able to share the gospel when we can. We're not interested in trying to kick a door down. We're not interested in pressuring anybody. But we simply want to just share the love of Jesus when we can. And Lord, those that are watching tonight that are struggling, whether it be physically or financially, family-wise, work-wise, health-wise, whatever's happening, I know we all got problems. I just ask for them. And Lord, we pray for those that are sick among us. Again, be with the Baker family and with the Forom family. And anyone else that has relatives that are recovering. And again, we ask that you bring our servicemen and women, bring them home soon to reunite with their families. And Lord, as always, if there's anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening that hasn't given their life to you, just pray that you'll continue to deal with their heart, draw them and love them and help them just like you did me. Lord, if I can be saved, anybody can be saved. And I just pray that everybody that's watching, everybody in our racing family will give their life to you while they're and pray for our racers and everybody that will be involved this weekend all over the country. Everybody a safe night. And let everybody get back home safely when it's done. And we give you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for another great night on the Deep Dixie Racing. We hope that everybody will go out and support your local track. Thanks to our guests, those of you that came in live, and to our sponsors and all of our friends, all of the racetracks that help us out, that tune in, all the promoters, the track owners, the car owners. You know who you are. We appreciate you. Keep your comments coming. Keep your suggestions coming. And if you run into one of us out and about, come up and say hi. We would love to meet you. On behalf of our producer, Mr. Dale, his buddy Brian, Hester, his pastor Todd, Sharon, saying good night. God bless all of you, and we'll see you next week on the Deep Dixie Racing.